you, Simon. Always good to come on stage and follow a masterclass, I find. So let's see how we get on. Simon, I still call it TV, by the way. I think I still call it telly, in fact. So showing what I am as a laggard. So let's have a quick 10 minutes, just provide you with an update of some of the stuff that we've been up to in the last year. I head up our AdSmart proposition. We'll talk in a little bit of detail about that in a moment. But that is part of our suite of fairly recently launched advanced advertising products. To give you a bit of background on that, really, this hasn't really changed for Sky in the last 28 years or so. You know, our business is built on providing our customers and our advertisers with best-in-class, with world-class content. We continue to invest heavily in that. In the UK, we invest the most in that, so that's in both original production and also acquisitions. We also invest heavily in technology for our customers, particularly and most recently, we've launched a new set-top box, but our set-top box has been in the living room for 28 years now, and I think it wouldn't be arrogant of me to say that Sky is fairly synonymous with tech and innovation in that space, and from our Sky Plus set-top box through HD, now into Sky Q and more 4K and these developments. So we continue there, but also from an advertiser perspective, from our agency partner perspective, the technology is about how we enable advertisers, agencies to connect with our customers as they consume content across different audiences. And then, of course, like any business, a bit of a throwaway comment, but clearly servicing is very much at the heart of what we do. Is one of these pillars. On the customer side, clearly it's managing retention, managing churn, but that's our partnership approach with our advertisers and our agency partners there as well. It's how we continue, hopefully, to delight in that space. The game has changed a bit, or the game continues to change. Very much our, I suppose, historic competitive set was in the broadcaster space, Sky as a broadcaster, which we remain. We're very much in the arena of premium content, as our colleagues at ITV and Channel 4 are, and scale behind that, and genuinely world-class content available. And then on the other side of things, again, if that's the right division, but we now compete, or we sit at this kind of confluence of the two of premium content on the one side, and then customer insight, consumer insight, but underpinned by vast amounts of data. And then just I suppose the next level down really in terms of our building blocks in this space. We've spoken about content, this incredible depth, incredible investment that we have in content, but also the scale of Sky enables us to be incredibly fortunate in terms of bringing products to market. In Europe, we have 22, nearly 23 million households who are customers. In the UK and Ireland, that's just over 12 million customers. I've mentioned the technology stack and that continued investment year on year in, yes, customer technology, but also advertiser technology. We spend upwards of £30 million a year in the UK alone, just in terms of some of the partners speaking today, in terms of how we continue to innovate in that space. Data-wise, there's a lot of scale there, as you would imagine, from an organisation who manage a customer relationship with 12 million households in the UK and 23 million across Europe. And we'll talk a bit more about data in a moment with respect to AdSmart and other platforms. And then the cross-platform nature as well. To be honest, we're figuring this out at the moment, and we continue to do that. And that evolution, that understanding is going to come, over the next 1, 2, 3 years, really. But how we try and understand the myriad of ways that our customers are consuming content and how we enable our advertisers to reach those audiences as well. So these are just some of either the building blocks or, in many ways, the challenges we're facing. And all of this, as I say, gets badged under our advanced advertising suite of products, really starting to gather momentum now in market. Fairly succinct definition of what they're doing here, but really the goal is to bring together, in a fairly unique way, the advertising engines of TV and digital. In the middle of so much of that is clearly data, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Just to bring to life what we are talking about when we talk about advanced advertising, in one arena we have Sky Analytics. Much of what we can offer in the analytics space is wrapped around by data. So one example would be our viewing panel, Sky's viewing panel, which I suppose is shorthand for our BARB in-house. Our viewing panel is 500,000 households who sit and give us, in the UK, daily dial-back information, or second-by-second dial-back information on what is being consumed and when. We're scaling that viewing panel to 3.5 million households over the next couple of months. But also, what we're fortunate and able to understand is, as Simon alluded to previously, an understanding of outcomes. You know, working with advertisers on what things have actually delivered post-campaign. You know, where advertisers are able to provide us with outcome-based data, we're able to match that back into our environment and then give real kind of pound-in, pound-out levels of investment and understanding. AdSmart I'll talk about in a bit more detail in a moment. And then just to highlight as well, I think some of you may have seen us talk more recently about Sky Advance. So this really is trying to bring together TV and digital at scale. It is leveraging our viewing data and our other data sources there, our understanding of our customers, our CRM data, and helping advertisers to unite TV and digital activations at scale. And really, this continues to be more of a partnership approach here. It's not just a transactional, or can be a transactional, but it's not just a transactional way of running campaigns and activating media. We're trying to prove and work out value throughout the life cycle for advertisers. You know, how we can use our data, work with their data, third-party data to influence planning, to execute in a more controlled way, try and manage frequency, try and optimize against outcomes and effect, and then to evaluate that as well. And much of what we do is performance-based evaluation, where an advertiser has an outcome we can work with. But also we continue, you know, to run a vast amount of brand studies as well and actually try and unearth the effectiveness, the complementary nature of linear TV and digital. So just quickly, I'm conscious of time, in terms of a quick primer on Sky AdSmart. Been in the market for 4 years now, or getting in for 4 years. AdSmart is our addressable TV platform. It enables advertisers to activate impression-based advertising within the linear TV feed. We substitute out an existing linear TV ad and replace it with a targeted ad based on data. As I say, it's an impression-based platform. In order to count as an impression in our world, in our addressable space for Sky AdSmart, the ad needs to have been viewed at least 75% of the way through at normal speed with 100% viewability in a walled garden of premium, ultra brand safe content. All of this underpinned, as I say, by data and measurement. Some of the numbers in terms of updating you on what we've been up to in 4 years. So we're getting upwards of 1,000 advertisers now who've come into the platform and have run campaigns. We're nearly at 8,000 campaigns. What's particularly interesting, again, is our continuation of delivering on, I suppose, the key tenet of Sky AdSmart in terms of how and why we launched it, which is encouraging new-to-TV advertisers into the space. So much of what we see is new-to-TV advertisers, new to Sky, guys looking at more innovative, more controlled ways of running addressable TV campaigns. And then we've seen quite a lot of expansion over the past year in terms of the customized nature of what we offer in AdSmart. So the ability for advertisers to bring their own first-party data to the table, or for us to be able to segment our customer base in a variety of ways that is bespoke to that given advertiser. The targeting, which has been the lifeblood of Sky AdSmart since its origin, we work with a number of third-party sources there. I think, right from the get-go, Experian have been a key partner in that space. More recently, we've started to work with other partners like dunnhumby, like MasterCard. We have 71 different targeting attributes that we offer with MasterCard. But as I say, that's off-the-shelf stuff. That's fixed targeting, as we refer to it. The customization in that space continues to grow and grow. More and more advertisers providing their first-party data in a stable, controlled environment, and us working with them on that data to run incredibly tailored TV campaigns. So many advertisers, in terms of user cases, clearly advertisers are embracing targeting. They want to target and reach specific audiences in controlled ways. We're also working on a number of ways that AdSmart adds value to linear, finding harder to reach audiences, upping frequency. And then I think I make this rallying cry pretty much at every industry event I stand up at year on year is we're seeing an increased relevance and increased embracing of the creative opportunities that exist there. I'd like to see more and more of that marriage of creativity and targeting to drive effectiveness as well. Some of the key advertisers we've worked with over the past year and some of the metrics that they have looked at and used and success that we've got there. I think more specifically, in terms of new ways and new investment, we're seeing the geographic flexibility being used by previous huge investors in linear TV who are using addressability, who are using Sky AdSmart to complement what they're doing in the more brand-driven TV space. So one of those key examples would be Autos brands. We work with a number of Autos brands who have great impactful brand ads, but then want to complement that by running 250 versions of an ad to deliver out locally based on the catchment area of their dealerships. We work on those catchment areas in terms of drive time or mileage from there. So again, that kind of incredibly flexible, customizable, bespoke nature there is bringing new money into the space that we wouldn't have seen. New to TV advertisers on a more localized level, again, are combining their own data, our ability to activate in their own catchment areas. We've worked recently with Huddersfield Town Football Club, again, had a clear task, driving season tickets. In the off-season, we were able to deliver, create an incredibly customized campaign for them, work with their data, profile that, understand their audiences, and then build a flexibly geographic way of running that campaign and delivering a measurable return. And then premium brands as well. Just to end, I think when AdSmart was launched, the feeling was, oh my word, is there going to be some drop in quality here? Is this purely just for localized, hyper-local brands in the space? And in many ways, we've seen the opposite of that. As I say, we've seen brands, existing TV advertisers complementing what they're doing in a more micro way. We've seen new to TV advertisers on a local level, but we've also seen premium brands and ultra-premium brands coming into the space in a more controlled way, where they can find their own audiences in a tightly defined way. In this particular case, McLaren, who wanted to reach the ultra-affluent. We've got a short video that I think I can probably get away with running.
The McLaren 570S, designed and built to be driven. Experience it now at McLaren Manchester.
I'm Jonathan Pollock and I'm the Managing Director for the European region for McLaren Automotive Limited. The 570S and the Sport Series represents a landmark opportunity for McLaren Automotive Limited by bringing our DNA engineering and innovative expertise into the sports car market for the first time. We're trying to reach a conquest audience of high net worth individuals in key areas of the market. One of our key business challenges is the fact that we're not a mass market brand. So we need to reach our prospects in a way that is impactful and in an environment, particularly from a media point of view, that's relevant and appropriate to them. Data is absolutely critical for us in the sales and marketing arena as much as it is in engineering. It's at the heart of everything we do. We chose to use Sky AdSmart because it allowed us to deliver a high impact, dynamic and engaging execution in a very tightly geo-demographically targeted manner. It delivered for us over 400,000 impressions into over 61,000 households, and it gave us access to a new target market that walked into our dealerships literally to buy a car.
Thank you.